Hi, what's up everyone? This is Darren from Fast Track Property, where I transform your life and improve your destination. Today, I'm going to unveil to you the real estate hack number 2. Alright, if you've seen my video previously on real estate hack, you will know that this is an evergreen strategy that anyone can use to generate an extra 700 to 1,008 monthly. Right? And if any of you have used this strategy, do share by commenting below how you did it and how it has improved your life so far. And do remember, as this is the first baby step that anyone can use to start off in their journey to owning multiple properties in Singapore, do remember to be disciplined, alright? Do not just spend that money that you have kept aside, okay? And guys, I really appreciate the early thumbs up. Do remember to help me to smash that like button and subscribing to my channel. Alright, let's move on to the video. Real Estate Hack version 2. This is going to blow your mind, guys. I'm going to share with you this strategy on how you can increase your rental yield for your existing properties. Let's take for example, if you own a 3-bedroom unit in Astoria Park, this project is located just behind Kembangan MRT station, you will be able to rent it out today for around 3,200 a month, right? And it is great as this gives you about 3.3% yield on your property. You could stop here if this is good enough for you, but if you like to beat the market and get a high return and willing to put in the work, okay, listen on. And since you are already paying the mortgage for the entire floor area of Astoria Park, right? Instead of renting it as a whole unit, you could rent out individual rooms while maximizing the space in the halls by creating 2 other bedrooms. And this is what we all call community living or co-living for short. So in essence, what is community living, right? It's basically tenants having their own private rooms while sharing the common spaces such as toilets, dining area, kitchen, while enjoying extra complimentary services such as weekly cleaning of the common areas, changing of your bed sheets, having a free Wi-Fi, and also having their utilities. Alright? So you may now be thinking, isn't this going to be extra cost involved? Does it even make sense? So how does this even work out, right? Now, let's explore this together. Weekly services will cost around $300 a month. I know what you guys are thinking at this point, but please engage a professional cleaning company to handle this on a contractual basis. Do not, and I repeat, do not get your helper to go over, alright? And because this is a room rental arrangement, you will bear the utilities, but of course, put a cap to it. I recommend about $400 a month. In the event of any excess, the amount will be shared equally among the occupants. And as for the internet, a good Wi-Fi with our local service providers will cost you under $50 a month, and all these will bring your total additional expenses to about $750 a month. So the question you could be asking is, why would a person want to rent a room from you instead of a whole unit, right? And even if it is just a room, why then from you? When you start to consider transiting your existing whole unit rental to a co-living environment, alright, bear in mind your tenant mix will be different. Your target group is no more towards families, but rather singles and couples of minimum S passes and above. The next reason is that many tenants would really prefer not to have the owner or landlord living with them because of various restrictions. Can you imagine living in a place where the landlord starts questioning you, oh, why is the aircon turned on for long periods of time? And at times now, even in the day when you're working from home. Or, why are you taking so long to shower? You're wasting water and electricity, you know. I'm paying for it, right? Well, you get the idea where I'm going with this. Okay, so tenants will always prefer to co-live with another tenant rather than with a landlord. And the extra services that you're throwing in is really attractive, and you know your property will be in good condition because of the weekly cleaning. Okay, so are you guys learning something valuable? If you don't hit the like button, you'll notice that it is still dark in color, right? Please give the thumbs up some color and make it blue again. I appreciate that, and thank you once again for letting YouTube understand that this is a good video with good content and it will help others to view it. Okay, so right now, let us go into the numbers. Let me bring you to a condominium called Tanling View. As you can see, Tanling View is minutes away from Redhill. In fact, it's just 4 minutes walking distance to Redhill MRT station. Let us now take a look at its past transacted rental prices, right? So this is under age prop. You realize that this is just recent, in July in fact. We're looking at the unit size ranging from 1,001 to 1,002, as you can see here. So if you look at the past transacted price, we're looking at anything from 3.4 all the way to 3.7 a month. Alright? So it is not too bad, right? So let's assume in this example, we can only rent this property for 3,700 if you rent it out as a whole unit. Now let's look at the room rental units for this development. If you go over to Property Guru here, right, you realize you can see these are the room rental units over that we have existingly, right? If you explore the master room right now, the highest price is 1650. Let's just take a look here. If you go in, you will realize that the master room is for lease. Again, no owner is staying, right? This includes Wi-Fi, utilities, and weekly cleaning. Available 1st of August. This is the first one. The other one, there's another one which is Stunning View. Also, room rental, 1,500 a month. Over here, again, the prices here includes just for one pax, right? And light cookies is allowed. Again, they have weekly cleaning, so on and so forth. All right. And for the common room, if you go here to $1,200 a month, right? Here it tells you again, it's just for one pax. It doesn't state whether this is with or without the landlord though, right? Some other units you consider here will be another one here is 1,200, right? Right. Again, there's not much description, okay? But you get the idea, right? There are units going for 1,001, 1,002, and maybe $1,000 too for a single one-bedroom unit, right? Again, not much description, right? But if you were to look along the rest of the listings, you realize that some of them actually has a landlord living inside, and therefore many tenants would rather rent from someone else. All right, so let's now consider breaking down a little bit more how do we use this strategy to be implemented, right? Let's take a look at this 3-bedroom floor plan. This is the main entrance into the unit. It opens up to the dining area and living hall. And one of the things to take note is the number of toilets that you have. Okay, and this is really important because the more WCs you have, it will be more convenient for the occupants. If not, it's going to be a mad rush to the toilets during the peak hours. Here you notice that this unit has a master toilet, alright, a common toilet, and you realize that behind by the yard area there's another WC, right? And this is important because for this WC, even though it has no shower, you can install a shower in this area for them to use. Alright, so next question is how do we cut out to maximize this unit, and where does it make sense, and how does it appeal to the tenants, right? You could choose to partition it in this way, alright? So you have a partition where you have a really large room here and a much smaller room, right? But the thing to note is that this area is not going to have any windows and no ventilation. And the most important thing is there is also no area or dining area for the tenants to utilize. Therefore, I recommend that you consider partitioning it this way instead. Alright, now you have 2 bedrooms, which is also big enough to fit a super single bed, alright, and wardrobes, and you have windows on this side. And do remember, if you want to partition in this way, you relocate the aircons unit in the hall area, 2 of them, into these 2 bedrooms. Okay, right? And you still have a nice little dining area for them. So you cannot rename these 2 bedrooms as maybe a premium room 1 and premium room 2, right? Up to you how you want to label it, alright? Okay, so now, how many people are you able to rent out to? From our UOA guidelines, we can only rent out to a maximum number of 6 people. Therefore, we have to allocate correctly, right? So I would say this would be the best allocation here. You'll be looking at perhaps 1 person here, 2 person here for the master room because it's a main hall, it's a main one with the toilet, right? And then because it's already 2 here, I recommend another 1 person in every other room. Alright, so in total, you can have 2 in the master, 1 in the common here, another common here, 1 in the premium 1, and then the premium 2. Alright, so this is the number of packs you can have maximum living in this particular property. Now, next question is how are you going to price it, right, to rent out to people? From the earlier listed price that we have seen in Property Guru, right, we can be a bit more conservative and price it lower for risk assessment and your price and your profit and loss calculation. So therefore, for the master, I would say for 2 packs to put at 1,500. Alright, and for the common, I'll put it at $1,000. Alright, for the bigger premium room, I'll put it at $950. and the smaller one at 900. Alright, so you realize that over here in total, you are going to have a total of 5350 collected. Correct? And you deduct your costing for this property, right? The cleaning of 300, the utilities of 400, right? At times it doesn't hit 400 of course, right? And the Wi-Fi of 50, right? So in total, you're still looking at, after a deduction of 750, you're still looking at a nice number which is at 4600, alright? So you compare these to earlier that we discussed at 3700, right? It is actually an additional of $900 a month or $10,800 a year. Okay? Sounds good, right? A property in this development will have cost you about 1.525 million and a rental of 3.7 is only going to yield you 2.9%, right? With this, the yield will increase to 3.6%, and what's more, if you're using this strategy on your existing properties that have gotten much cheaper in the past, your yield will be like poof, off the roof, okay? And now before you start looking at your floor plans and start drafting out your plans and taking out that calculator to calculate your potential yield, do take note of a few things. Check in with the MCST for the documentation to do a partition for your property, and if there is a need to submit this drawing, right, the one that you saw earlier that I did, to URA, and if there is a need for you to get a PE approval, right? So finally, the final two advantages that I personally like from this strategy is the risk of vacancy rate, right? For a whole unit rental, you run the risk of having your unit being empty for either for weeks or a month while looking for a new tenant. And this is going to cost you $3,700, right? If it's only for a month. But for the rooms, this amount is much smaller as you still have other rooms being occupied and collecting rental. The second thing is that though you could bring in new prospective tenants for the whole unit a month before the expiry of the tenancy, it is always based, you realize, on the tenant's timing, right? And very much dependent on your relationship with them for the past year. They could either be very cooperative or very uncooperative in facilitating your viewings. And more often than not, when you finally bring your prospective tenant into the place hoping to close, the place is in a mess, there might even be a smell in the air, the tenant could be topless, right? Yes, do not laugh, it does happen. And then you decide it's best to just wait till they move out, clean out the place before marketing your unit again. But you realize that with co-living, you do not need permission to bring in new tenants, and because you have been maintaining your apartment, right, replacing the tenant with a new tenant will be a breeze actually, therefore lowering your vacancy rate. Well, I hope guys I've ignited that light bulb over your head and you've enjoyed this video. And if you haven't done so, smash that like button, alright? Share this video and bless whomever you think may benefit from it. And remember to subscribe. Till next time, speak to you again.